Hello students and friends. Welcome to Homeopathy Medicines. Today in this Homeopathic Materia Medica lesson, I will discuss about homeopathic medicine chininum arsenicosum. Before starting this video, please subscribe to this channel for Learn Homeopathy Online Free and Homeopathy Materia Medica. We need support from you to make this channel more beautiful and more informative. Now going to discuss about chininum arsenicosum, its uses and symptoms. The symptoms of general weariness and prostration produced by the drug have been utilized in prescribing it homeopathically as a general tonic, often with very marked beneficial and prompt effect. In diphtheria with great prostration, cases that are prolonged, especially, and in malarial affections, neuralgia, etc., it has been found curative. Asthmatic attacks which recur periodically, with great prostration. Icy skin. Pressure in the solar plexus, with tender spine back of it. Head, tired feeling. Head feels too full. Throbbing. Great anxiety. Great irritability. Vertigo, worse looking up. Dull, heavy headache, frontal and occipital. Darting pains running up into head. Eyes, intense photophobia and orbicular spasm. Gushing hot tears. Flickering with pain and lacrimation. Mouth, tongue thickly furred, yellow, slimy coating. Bitter taste. No appetite. Stomach, alternation of hyperacidity and decrease of acid. Hyperchlorhydria, robinia, argnite, oroxentanate. Thirst for water, yet it disturbs. Anorexia. Eggs produce diarrhea. Heart, palpitation. Sensation as if heart stopped. Suffocative attacks, occurring in periodical paroxysms. Must have open air. Short of breath on ascending, cardiac dyspnea, circulatory weakness after acute infections, early myocardial degeneration. Sleep, sleeplessness due to nervous causes, single dose of 5th or 6th potency. Extremities, weak limbs. Coldness of hands and feet, knees and limbs. Tearing pains. Fever, continuous, with weakness. System depleted. Complaints come on at night. Open air aggravates most complaints. General increasing anemia. Inflamed parts turn black. Chlorosis. Sensitive to cold, and complaints are worse from cold and from becoming cold. Tendency to take cold. This is a useful remedy in weakly constitutions. Cold, pale, emaciated people. In prolonged suppuration, after hemorrhages. Chronic diarrhea, when the weakness is the most prominent feature. Fullness of blood vessels. Dropsy in sacs, or edema. Emaciation. Cannot sustain a physical exertion. Faints on slight provocation. Wants to be warm, wants warm drinks and warm food. Warm room ameliorates. Wants to lie down. Aversion to motion. Stitching and tearing pains. Periodicity is most marked. Pulsation all over the body. Pulse fast, feeble and irregular. Relaxed and flabby, calc. Sensitive to pain. Many symptoms come during sleep. Standing increases many symptoms. Sensitive to touch. Trembling. Walking in the open air aggravates. Weakness from walking. Complaints come on in windy, stormy weather. Easily angered, and refuses to talk or to answer questions. Anxiety day and night, but worse in the evening, worse during chill, anxiety with fear. Anxiety during fever, even becomes wild. Anxiety on waking. Desires things which he cares nothing for after he gets them. Becomes critical with his most intimate friends. Complaining. Confusion of mind in the morning on waking. Overconscientious about trifles. Silicea, thuja. Delirious at night, after hemorrhage. Many imaginations, illusions of fancy, sees images, frightful images. Despair during chill, heat and suffering. Discontented with everything. Discouraged easily, and faint-hearted. Dullness of mind. Becomes excited over small matters. Exaltation of fancy. Fear at night that evil will come to him, fear of ghosts. Forgetful. Mind overwhelmed with ideas at night. Impatience and intermittent fever. becomes indifferent to all enjoyment, aversion to work, irritable during chill, and on waking, jumps out of bed during the fever, moaning during the chill and the fever, loathing of life, weakness of memory. He is easily offended, and looks for insults. Great restlessness at night, and during fever. Anxious restlessness, driving him out of bed, driving to despair. Extreme sadness, especially during chill and fever, and sometimes during the sweat. Oversensitiveness to noise, and in general. Sentimental. Mental symptoms from sexual excesses, and loss of vital fluids. Refuses to talk, and remains silent. Sits by the hour in silence without moving. Wandering speech. Starting on falling asleep, and waking as from fright. Lies in bed in a state of stupefaction in low forms of fever. Suicidal disposition. Suspicious. Persistent thoughts. Timid. Weary of life. Weeping. The chilliness is brought on by thinking of it. The headache is worse by mental exertion. Vertigo comes in the evening, with nausea, while walking in the open air. Cerebral congestion with great heat of the head. The forehead becomes cold and covered with sweat. Constriction of the head. Great heat in the forehead. Heaviness in the head in the morning. Motion is felt in the brain on moving the head. Sensation of rushing in the brain, down right side of the neck and arm becoming convulsive, and ending in real convulsion. Violent darting pains in the head preventing sleep. Pain in the whole head. Pain, in the morning on waking, in the afternoon, but, most severe at night. Night headaches. Cold air brings on the head pains. The scalp is sensitive to touch, to combing the hair, and to binding up the hair during the suffering. Catarrhal headache. Pain very severe during the chill and heat, but ameliorated as the sweat becomes free. Pains worse or brought on from becoming cold. With coryza the pain is violent, worse coughing or joring, after eating. Hammering headaches. Headaches during menses. Mental exertion aggravates the headache. Nervous headache, and headache from excitement or noise. Paroxysmal pains. Periodical headaches, headache every 2 weeks. Pulsating pains. Pains worse walking. Neuralgic pains, worse in left side, ameliorated by rubbing. Aching felt deep in the head. Pains in the forehead, mostly on the right side, in occiput after sleep, in sides of head in the evening, in temples and forehead, in vertex. Bruised pain all over the head after fever, and after sleep. Burning pain in left occipital region extending down the neck in the morning. Bursting pain. Pressing pain. Pressing in the forehead, over the eyes. Pressing in the occiput and temples. Stitching and tearing pains in the head. Perspiration on the forehead. Complaints come on from uncovering the head in cold air. Inflamed eyes. Lacrimation. Intense photophobia and spasms of orbicularis muscles. Gushing hot tears. Large ulcers on each eye, worse from midnight until 3 a.m. Scrofulous ophthalmia, worse after 1 a.m. Flickering before the left eye. Pain in the eyes at night. Burning pains. Pressing. Sunken eyes. Dim vision. Sparks before the eyes. Weak vision. Noises in the ears, buzzing, humming, ringing, roaring, singing. Stitching in the ears. Earache. Pain burning, stitching, tearing. Hearing acute. Hearing impaired. Coryza with discharge. Dry coryza. Nasal catarrh with bloody discharge, or purulent discharge. Dryness in the nose. Epistaxis. Nose obstructed. Sneezing. Excoriation of the corners of the nose. Especially useful for periodical coryza and frequent taking cold in the nose which keeps a catarrh in constant activity. Chlorotic face. Cracked lips. Bluish lips. Pale earthy face. Circumscribed red cheeks with pale face. Sickly color of face. Jaundiced face. Expression anxious. The pains of the face are worse in the open air, burning, tearing. Periodical pains. Swelling of submaxillary and parotid glands. Perspiration cold. Edema of face. Ulceration of the lips. Burning canker sores in the mouth. bleeding from mucous membranes of the mouth, cracked tongue, tongue black, brown, white or yellow, dry mouth and tongue, hot mouth, burning rawness of the tongue, sore tongue, salivation, swollen gums and tongue, taste bad, bitter while eating, insipid, metallic, saltish, sour, sweetish, vesicles on the tongue, pain in the teeth at night, less than by biting the teeth together, from touch, cold drinks. Pains come on periodically, are jerking, pulsating, tearing, and date back to malarial fever. Contraction in the throat, dryness in the throat, gangrenous inflammation of the throat with putrid odor, in malignant scarlet fever. The throat feels hot. This remedy has been used in diphtheria when the exudation was blackish, and putrid odor from the mouth. Great pain on swallowing. Burning in the throat. Stitching in the throat on swallowing. Difficult swallowing. Swollen throat. Constant clearing of the throat. Appetite diminished, or ravenous. No appetite for breakfast. Strong appetite without relish of food. Aversion to rich food and fats, aversion to food, to meat. Desires wine, cold drinks, sour things, sweet things. Sensation of coldness in the stomach. Emptiness, better by eating. Eructations after eating, bitter, empty, of food, sour. Water brash. Sensation of fullness after eating. Heartburn. Great weight in the stomach after eating. Hiccup. Stomach easily disordered. Cannot digest eggs or fish. Water tastes bitter. Nausea after eating, during headache. Pain in the stomach from coughing, after eating. Burning, cramping, pressing, soreness, stitching, tearing. Pulsating. Retching with cough. Strong thirst, in the evening, during perspiration, for small drinks during heat. Vomiting at night, on coughing, after drinking, after eating, with headache, of bile, black, blood, food, mucus, sour, water. Nausea and vomiting followed by sleep. Sudden inclination to vomit at 2 p.m., sensation of coldness in the abdomen during chill. Distension morning, after eating, tympanitis, ascites, enlarged liver and spleen from malarial influences. Flatulence in intermittent fever. Fullness in the abdomen. Hardness of the liver. Heaviness as from a load in the abdomen after eating. Great pain in the abdomen during chill, like colic, during diarrhea, after eating, before stool, ameliorated by lying on the abdomen. Great pain in the region of the liver, in the hypogastrium, in the region of the umbilicus. The kinds of pain in the abdomen are burning, cramping, cutting, dragging, soreness, stitching. Much rumbling and tension. Constipation, with hard, knotty stools. Diarrhea, morning, afternoon, night, after midnight, after cold drinks, from taking cold, after eating, after fruit, in hot weather. Dysentery. Much flatus, offensive. Bleeding from anus. Hemorrhoids. Involuntary stool and urine. Itching of the anus. Moisture about the anus. Pain in the anus during stool. Burning in the anus during diarrhea, during stool. Pressing pain. Stitching. Paralytic weakness of the rectum. Ineffectual urging to stool. Stool bilious, black, bloody, clay-colored, copious, frequent, lymphatic, offensive, liquid, watery. Diarrhea with intermittent fever. Spasmodic retention of urine. Urging to urinate, frequent, ineffectual. Involuntary urination at night, after stool. Urine albuminous, bloody, burning, cloudy on standing, dark, greenish, pale, copious at night, offensive, scandy. Sediment is red and sandy. Sugar. Clear watery urine. Erections feeble. Seminal emissions. Itching of vulva. Leukorrhea, excoriating, bloody, copious, after menses, offensive, thin. Menses absent, copious, dark, too frequent, offensive, painful, pale, protracted, suppressed. Uterine hemorrhage. Prolapsus. Catarrh of larynx and trachea. Rawness in larynx. Soreness in larynx. Hoarseness, rough voice. Respiration quick, asthmatic, deep, difficult in evening and night, difficult with cough, difficult while lying, rattling, short. Suffocation. Wheezing. Whistling. Suffocation in the forenoon during phthisis. Must sit bent forward by an open window in the attack of suffocation, worse in any other position. Every day at 9 a.m. suffocation. Cough, morning, afternoon, evening, night, after midnight, asthmatic, from deep breathing, from full feeling in chest, during chill. Dry cough, at night, during fever. Cough exhausting. Cough during fever. Hacking cough. Irritation in larynx and trachea. Loose cough. Motion aggravates the cough. Short cough. Spasmodic cough. Suffocative cough. Talking aggravates the cough. Tickling in air passages causes cough. Expectoration bloody, copious, difficult, mucus, offensive, purulent, tastes bitter, flat, salty. Expectoration is viscid, white. Anxiety in chest, region of heart. Constriction. Hemorrhage of lungs. Oppression of chest. Angina pectoris with dropsical symptoms. Pain in the chest, during cough. Pains in the sides of the chest. Rawness in the chest. Stitching in the chest on coughing. Stitching in the heart. Palpitation of the heart, anxious, aggravated on slight exertion, leaning back against chair, violent. Sensation as if heart ceased to beat. Full pulse. Weakness in chest. Weakness of respiratory muscles. Violent pain in left mammary region, as though part were torn with red-hot tongs. Aching in region of 7th rib on inspiration. Coldness of the back at night. Eruptions on the back. Pain in the back, during chill. Pain in the cervical region, in scapula, between scapulae, in lumbar region, in sacral region, in spine. Aching, bruised, drawing, soreness in spine, tearing. Stiffness in cervical region. Weak feeling in back. Limbs icy cold. Upper limbs cold. Cold hands and feet. Cold knees. Cold legs. Cramps in calves. Blueness of fingernails. Eruption on limbs. Excoriation between thighs. Heaviness of limbs, of lower limbs. After prolonged suppuration in hip joint disease. Stitching in limbs, in lower limbs. Weakness of limbs, forearms, lower limbs, legs. Goose flesh on lower limbs with chilliness. Palms hot and dry. Pain in limbs, rheumatic, in the joints, gouty joints. Pain in the upper limbs, shoulders. Pain in the knees. Aching pains in all the limbs. Wandering aching pains. Aching of the biceps of left arm. Pain in flexors of left forearm, in radial side near elbow. Burning in the limbs, in the feet. Drawing pain in the limbs, upper limbs, thighs, knees, feet. Stitching in shoulders, upper arms, hips, thighs, knees, feet. Tearing pain in the limbs, upper limbs, shoulders, elbows, wrist, hand, fingers, lower limbs, thighs, legs, ankles, feet. Restlessness of the limbs, lower limbs, legs, feet. Stiffness of the limbs, hands, fingers, lower limbs. Dropsical swelling of the hands and feet. Trembling of the limbs, hands, lower limbs. Weakness of the lower limbs. Weakness of the limbs, joints, upper limbs, lower limbs, knees, thighs. Sleep deep. Sleep during fever. Dreams anxious, of death, frightful, misfortune, vexatious, vivid. Falling asleep late, restless until 3 a.m. Restless sleep. Sleepiness afternoon, evening. Sleeplessness, before midnight. Sleep is unrefreshing. Wakens too early, frequently. Yawns much, intermittent fever. Chill, morning, forenoon, noon, afternoon, evening, night, midnight, open air, walking in the open air, anticipating, in bed. Drinking aggravates chill. Quotidian chill, quotidian or tertian. Heart, shaking chill. Chill like cold waves with goose flesh all over body. Warm room ameliorates. External warmth ameliorates. High fever follows chill. Fever without chill afternoon and evening. Fever and chill alternate. Burning fever. Feverish all the time, but more so at night. Dry heat at night. Hectic fever heat during sleep. Chill, heat, then sweat. During the heat he desires to uncover perspiration, morning, night, during anxiety, cold, from coughing, with weakness, during slight exertion, following fever, from motion, profuse, during sleep, after waking, staining linen yellow. Fevers from living in damp rooms. Malarial fevers. Symptoms increase while perspiring. Fevers with extreme prostration. Anesthesia of the skin. Burning. Cold skin. Bluish discoloration, pale, yellow, jaundice every summer. Dryness. Burning eruptions, boils, pimples. Urticaria after scratching. Vesicles. Formication. Gooseflesh itching, burning. Skin very sensitive, a feeling of soreness. Sticking. Dropsical swelling of skin. Ulcers, burning, sensitive, stinging. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more videos like chininum arsenicosum, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. To learn homeopathy course online free with Homeopathy Materia Medica. Comment us your feedback and what you want in the next video. Like and share this video with your friends and family. For paid and free consultancy online, visit homeopathymedicines.com and mashclinic.com. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay healthy, stay happy.